Are you kidding me? Hey everyone, it's Rose and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to take you through the list of 26 books I want to read in 2026. Now, this was so hard to narrow down. There are so many new releases coming out this year I'm so excited for. I'm so excited for my next year of reading. I found it very hard to narrow this down, and it's definitely not a definitive list, but these are the ones I put for the 26. I've tried to be a bit more strategic this year because last year I put like entire series on the list, and then if I didn't start that series, that was automatically like 5 books I can complete off the list. So I have put like the first book in a series or the next book I have to read in a series rather than the entire series, because then if I don't start it, then it's only one book that I haven't completed rather than automatically knocking out a bunch. And I guess without further ado, let's go through this list. I do have some physical books from my TBR that I have on there, but a lot of them are books that are coming out throughout 2026 that I'm super excited for. So it's going to be a mix of physical, and I will obviously put up titles on the screen here if I don't have the book. But I think we're going to start with fantasy. I feel like this year is the year I have finally properly gotten into fantasy. I feel like a lot of people got back into reading through fantasy books, you know, ACOTAR, Fourth Wing, Throne of Glass. I got back into it through thrillers. So I've always found fantasy not to be something I don't enjoy, but something I need to be in a specific mood for, but also I didn't know my taste in fantasy, and this year I feel like I've really defined it, which has been great. I have come to the conclusion young adult fantasy is not for me. I think the reason I thought I didn't get on with fantasy is because I was reading a lot of young adult fantasy, and that's just not for me. But this year I found adult fantasy, and I've had multiple 5-star reads in that genre, romantasy to be specific. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and stop yapping and start talking about the books. The first book on this list is Gleam by Raven Kennedy. This is the 3rd book in the Plated Prisoners series. Now, the 2nd book, Glint, was actually my first 5-star read of this year, so it's crazy that I haven't got round to this, but I did recently get 124 pages in, and I loved being back in this world, so it's one I definitely want to get to. And like I said, the 2nd book was 5-star, so this has 5-star potential too. I'm very excited, and you're going to hear me say that a lot throughout these because I'm excited for all of them, but I can't wait to see where we go and where the story develops. This is a King Midas retelling. It's a dark fantasy romance. Check your content warnings. Next up, we have one I am so highly anticipating. Everyone's talking about it, everyone's loving it. It's Diabound by Sable Sorensen. This is the 1st book in the A Wolves of Ruin series. I believe the 2nd one is coming out later on in 2026, and this is about werewolves and like bonding with wolves. Only the worthy survive the bonding trials. She'll risk her life and her heart to be one of them. I am very excited for the trials that I think are going to be in this to bond with a dire wolf. Can you tell I don't know much? I'm not going to know much about a lot of these books because I like going into books blind, but the quotes I have seen and the reactions people have had for this book is making me so excited to read it. Then we have a sequel I am highly anticipating. Quicksilver by Callie Hart is one of my current reads, and I think I'm definitely going to be able to finish it before the end of the year at the time I'm filming this. So we have Brimstone, the 2nd book in the Fate and Alchemy series, I believe it's called. Again, this is fantasy romance. I'm about 200 pages into Quicksilver right now. I put it down to film a separate video, but I've been itching to pick it back up, and I just know once the video I'm currently filming is done, I'm gonna devour the remainder of that book. I love the writing, I love the characters, and I just know I'm gonna want to pick up book 2 as soon as that one's finished. I've seen mixed reviews on this one, but that just makes me even more excited to read it for myself and for my own opinion. Okay, so the next one I don't have physically, but it is on Kindle Unlimited, and that is Riftborn by Bree Greenwich and Parker Lennox. Oh my gosh, I have seen the best things about this ever. I am so excited. I have it downloaded and ready to go on my Kindle. This is, again, fantasy romance. I think it has games and trials, and I think our main girl has like a hidden power. There's been like a rebellion, branded her an outcast, so she's like keeping it secret, and someone finds out her secret. I mainly picked this based on other people's reading experiences and reactions with this. I honestly don't know too much more than what I've just told you guys, but I'm so excited. A lot of these, all I have to say is I'm really excited because I obviously haven't read them. I always struggle with TBR videos in that way. How can I tell you about a book if I haven't even read it? So I'm doing my best, guys. Those are all of the fantasy that are on there. So what should we do next? Let's do romance. I've definitely found a love for dark romance this year, and I'm ready to dive into some more of your like unhinged recs for that. So I've got 3 here for contemporary romance, and then I have a lot more than 3 on the dark romance side of things. But for contemporary, we have got The Right Move by Liz Tomford. Mile High was a 5-star read for me, and I have seen so many people that didn't even like Mile High rate this book 5 stars, so I can only imagine how much I'm gonna love it. I don't know why I've been putting it off. I think it's honestly because I have such high expectations that I'm really nervous. But I'm trying to get over that fear in 2026 and try and read things for me. Read things I know I'm gonna like rather than putting off things I know I'm gonna like because what if I don't? It makes no sense. These are interconnected standalones. They're sports romances. I'm very excited for this one because it is about the brother and the best friend of our main girl from book 1, and I've already met both of them and fell for both of them, so I can't wait to see where this is gonna go. Then I have Thrive and Addicted After All. These are books, it's 6 and 7 in the Addicted Calloway series universe kind of thing. I put the whole of this series on my 25 for 2025, and then I only ended up reading like a couple more this year, so I've decided to put 2 more on here and not be too ambitious. These follow Lillian Lowe. This is, again, it's technically 2 series, but it's the Addicted / Calloway Sisters universe by Krista and Becca Ritchie. The fan family in these books is insane. Every time I read a book, whatever couple that one's about becomes my new favourite. Like, I started with Lillian Lowe, those were my favourites. Then I read Kiss the Sky and Connor and Rose became my favourites. And then I read Hot House Flower, and now I love Reich and Daisy. So going back to Lillian Lowe, I'm very excited for, and I want to see if they become my favourites again. I just love this world so much. It's a character study more than anything, and I just think it's so unique. And I just have such a great time with them, so can't wait to continue. Now we've got the dark romance. We are starting another extended universe, guys. I know there's a lot on this list. That is why I'm only putting the first ones on this list, because this extended universe is like 30+ books. I am starting with Cruel King by Rena Kent. I'm finally doing it. I'm going to read my first Rena Kent book. If it becomes like my new obsession, I may abandon the rest of this TBR and just read all her books. But this is the first book in the Royal Elite series. It's technically like book 0. I don't know what that's about. I just know these are all dark romances. She, I think, exclusively writes dark romance. The characters are unhinged. The timeline and the universe and how all the characters are connected is crazy, and I can't wait to finally see what all the hype is about. Then we have one I'm so scared for. This is Insatiable. This is book 1 in the Edge of Darkness trilogy. I want to read the whole trilogy. I want to get my heart broken, but I've just put the first one on here. This is by Lee Rivers. I have seen the most heartbreaking quotes from this series, and I'm ready. I'm ready to get my heart broken and ready to fall in love with some more characters. I don't want to tell you anything about this because I've been told to go in blind, so I don't want to know anything about it to tell you guys. I will say, honestly, like, check triggers for all the dark romances and probably all the fantasy romances as well. I'm going to tell you about thriller and horror. Just check content warnings for everything. I'm just going to say that now. Any book I talk about, check content warnings. I like dark and messed up things. Like I said, I got into books reading thrillers, which tend to have very dark and messed up themes. So that's your warning now. Then we've got Brutal Obsession. I believe this is by S. Massery. Am I wrong? It will be up here for you guys now. This is a dark hockey romance, I believe. I think I got like 10% into this and then I put it down and I don't know why, but I'm so excited to read these. I am gonna read this for like the unhinged fun vibes. I'm not looking for perfection with a lot of these dark romances. I'm judging them on a different scale to how I judge a normal romance book or a thriller. I'm here for how crazy we're gonna make these, how entertaining can it be, not is this a literary masterpiece. And I've heard the MMCs in this series are unhinged, so I'm ready to meet them. I'm ready to be kind of scared. Speaking of unhinged, we have the first book in the Hollow Boys series by Monty J. This is The Lies We Steal. I've heard this series is definitely not interconnected standalones. It all follows a timeline of one of the guy's partners, girlfriend or wife, I don't know, goes missing and they think it's like a murder mystery. And also I've heard the women are unhinged in these ones too, which I really love in a dark romance. I love when she's feisty too, so I'm very excited to read this. Another one I am finally going to do. I had the indie covers of these. I then picked up these covers as well. This is Corrupt by Penelope Douglas. I'm finally going to read the Devil's Night series. Again, this is one where I'm going into it for unhinged crazy stuff, not for a literary masterpiece. This is Penelope Douglas. I know what I'm getting with their books. This is 4 main books following 4 different couples, and there's a couple novellas. And I'm pretty sure each of the girls played a part in putting the guys in their books in jail. And then the guys are getting out of jail and coming for revenge. I'm here for it. This is apparently a good intro to dark romance. I'm not having an intro to dark romance. I've read quite a few now, but maybe for you guys. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for this one. This is Phantom by H.D. Carlton, and if you've read The Cat and Mouse Duet, this is about Addie's grandma who was like writing in her diary. I can't wait to see her story. She was like being stalked from what Addie saw in the diaries, but we don't know whatever happened because I'm pretty sure in those books she disappeared. And then this is set in the 1940s and we're actually going to get her story. I recently read, what is it called? Dear Molly by H.D. Carlton. That was obviously about Molly, but that was a 5-star for me. This is the only book I have left to read from H.D. Carlton. I wanted to pick it up as soon as I finished Dear Molly, but I knew that it's the last one, so I've been waiting, and it's probably going to be one of the first books I read in 2026. I've just realised I've forgotten one that it's more a contemporary romance, but Anna Huang does kind of write dark themes into her books. We have King of Gluttony. I don't know if this is going to be dark at all because I know nothing about it other than it is the 6th book in the Kings of Sin series and it's coming out in 2026. I really enjoy Anna Huang's writing. I've really enjoyed this series so far. I'm really interested to see who the King of Gluttony is because I've forgotten. It's definitely not a 5-star series for me, but they're always quick and entertaining, so I'm excited to read it. Now we're going to talk about thriller / horror. I will tell you if I know what the book is, but sometimes, especially if it's a book that hasn't come out yet, I don't quite know whether it's going to be a thriller or a horror because those themes can tend to get a little bit blurred. First up, one that I do know is horror. This is The Starving Saints by Caitlin Starling. I am very excited for this. I was going to read it in a vlog recently and then I read something else. I'm not quite sure why, but I do know I still really want to get to this. This was so kindly sent to me by Harper Voyager. This is about, I think it's like a medieval castle and they are under siege, so they're all trapped in the castle. They are going to run out of food and they're going to starve to death when all of a sudden this lady and her saints come and save them, and people are being healed and there's suddenly food, but we don't know where the food's coming from. There's cannibalism in this book. This is most definitely horror. I am very excited for it. I've said that with all of them. I'm so sorry, but excited is just a word to describe all these books. Then we have one I cannot believe I haven't read yet. I don't know why, but it needs to change immediately. That is the reappearance of Rachel Price by Holly Jackson. I think I've rated everything I've ever read from Holly Jackson 5 stars. So I absolutely need to read this. I also want to read her latest release, Not Quite Dead Yet, but I don't own a copy of that, so it didn't get made to the list. But you best believe I'm gonna read this book. This is about an 18-year-old girl who, when she was, I think, 2, her mum got abducted or she went missing. We don't quite know, but the only witness to it was a 2-year-old who has no memory of that. And now 16 years later, the family have agreed to do like a Netflix documentary style thing in hopes that maybe we'll get some answers with like all of the attention. And then her mum comes back, but she's not the same as she was before and she's got a lot of answering to do. So excited, as always. This is Allegedly by Tiffany D. Jackson. This is one where I'm not sure. I think it's a thriller, but it definitely sounds like it has horror elements. I think this is going to be a sad book. This is definitely going to have themes of racism in it. It says Mary B. Addison killed a baby, allegedly. So she is a black woman looking after a white baby, and the white baby had died under her care, and everyone is saying she murdered the baby. I think it's going to have themes of racism, and I'm very excited to see where we go with this. I don't know any more than that, but that is enough to grip me. Did she do it, or are people painting her unjustly because she's a black woman looking after a white baby? Then we've got a horror book I have put on a TBR like 3 times now, and honestly it's just because I'm scared. That's why I haven't read it. This is When the Wolf Comes Home by Nat Cassidy, and I've heard it's very unhinged, and with the nights right now in the winter being it's dark most of the time, I'm scared to read a scary book in the dark, guys. Okay, so I'm gonna save this for summer when it's light till like 9 p.m. and it gets light out again at like 3 a.m. so that if this scares me as much as I think it's gonna, I'll be okay. This is about a woman who's a struggling actress. She finds a boy hiding in the bushes outside her apartment. A violent, bloody encounter with the boy's father means she and the boy find themselves running for their lives. They're like on the run from her father, and all these horrible things are happening as they're on the run, and I'm just scared because I've heard a lot of good things about Nat Cassidy and how visceral her horror is. Then we've got Dear Debbie by Freida McFadden. Now, I always have a good time with Freida McFadden. Again, I rate her books differently. I go into them for vibes. I don't think I'm ever going to guess the plot twist. I don't think the plot twist will ever be realistic, but I'm not going into expecting that. I know what I'm getting myself into. Me and Ellen have been buddy reading, I think for a good couple years now, all of her books as they come out, and I always have so much more fun doing that with her, and she's better than me at guessing the plot twists. I don't think I've ever guessed one right, but she has. I don't know how she does it. Anyway, this is Dear Debbie, and I think this is about a woman who's got like a advice column called Dear Debbie, and she hears about women who are like having bad experiences with their husbands. Some of them are even being abused, and I assume some sort of murder is going to happen because it's a thriller and it's Freida McFadden, but I don't know any more than that. We've got My Husband's Wife by Alice Feeney. I am so excited. I love Alice Feeney so much. I'm pretty sure I've read everything from her other than one, and I can't remember what book it is right now. The name is evading me, but I've read everything else from her and loved every single one. And I know nothing about this. I have nothing to tell you because I want to go in so blind, because that's how I enjoy Alice Feeney's books best. Then we have The Caretaker by Marcus Cleaway, which is coming out in April. This author wrote We Used to Live Here, which is one of my favourite horror books ever. I read it at the beginning of 2021. No, I didn't. I read it at the beginning of 2025. And I don't think I've read a horror book better than that since. It was so good, so gripping, so scary, so visceral, and I cannot wait for the fact that he is coming out with a new release. I need it now. I need it now. I can't wait. I know nothing about this again. I want to go in blind, and I'm so excited. I need to get my hands on this. Then we have Getting Away with Murder by Shari Lapina, another 2026 release. Another author I've read everything from and have loved everything from. And another book I want to know nothing about. So I'm very sorry guys, but I'm telling you nothing about this other than one of my most anticipated releases of 2026. One of my favourite authors ever. This is a bit out of order. I put 2 of Freida McFadden's backlist books on here because I think they're the only 2 of hers I haven't read. They're the only 2 thrillers of hers I haven't read. She does have one called like Baby City and like a doctor book which she wrote like 12 years ago or something, but I'm not reading them. So we have Dead Med and Brain Damage. These are both set in like a hospital setting. In Dead Med, it's like a hospital, not a hospital setting. It's people that want to be doctors, like going to uni and like working in like morgue and hospital settings, and there's a rumour that one student every year dies in like the newest class, and there's a rumour that they're killing themselves, and there's a rumour that there's someone behind it. And I think the girl we're following is the intended victim of the year, but I don't know. For Brain Damage, I know absolutely nothing. This is one of the books I've heard the least about from her, and I'm very interested to go into a Freida book knowing nothing because she's so talked about that I don't think there's any other book from her that I went in as blind as I will be with this one, so I'm interested. Another one I'm so excited for. This is The Silent Appeal by Janice Hallett, a 2026 release. One of my favourite authors ever. Everything I have read from her has been, it's been 4 stars and above, but honestly I'd change them all to 5 stars. She's the most unique writer I have ever seen. I've talked about her so much on my channel. All of her books are all mixed media. So one is literally 200 translated media files where it's audio recordings that have been translated and you are listening to them and trying to figure out what's going on. One of them is all like different emails back and forth and text messages back and forth and post-it notes that have been found. One of them is like, this is the case you guys are working on, you've got to figure out who did it and you've got to figure out the secret that's been hidden from you throughout the pages. And then you're reading them and then you'll get a break where you read like the emails of the people that are supposed to be figuring this out and what their theories are, and then you make your own theories. I'm going on a ramble. Please read her books, they are so good. This is going to be a sequel of The Appeal, which was a 5-star read for me. I loved it so much. I can't wait to see what goes on in this book. We have the 26th and final book. I've been putting off this book because I'm honestly going to get tears in my eyes just thinking about it, because I know it's going to break my heart. I've seen so many people's hearts be broken. This is Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. This is a book I know I'm getting for Christmas, which is why I have not read it yet. Originally I was putting it off because I was scared, and now I'm itching to read it, but I don't want to buy it because I know I'm getting it. So yeah, this is going to be one of my first reads of 2026. This is Haymitch's story, guys. If you've read The Hunger Games, you know how emotional this is going to be. It's almost guaranteed to be a 5 stars. The Hunger Games are books I would read the trilogy when I was like 12 maybe. I would read the trilogy, finish book 3, go immediately back to book 1, read again, repeat. Like I could never get bored of those books. I could never get bored of the movies. I'm so scared for this one, but I'm so excited. Those are the 26 books I want to read in 2026. Again, definitely not an exhaustive list. I have so many more. Please, guys, okay, please, I need you to do some things for me. Let me know what books you are excited for in 2026, but also, if you've read any of the books on this list, tell me which ones to prioritize. No spoilers, please, but tell me which ones I need to get to first, because I don't even know where to start because I want to read them all at once immediately. So excited for my content in 2026. I have so many fun ideas that I can't wait to bring you guys along for the journey and show you guys what I want to be doing. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. If you'd like to see more from me, please be sure to like and subscribe as I post new videos every single week. I've actually been switching to 2 a week. I don't know how long I'm going to keep that up, but for now I'm posting 2 times a week. I hope you have a lovely day and I will see you in another video. Bye!